Welcome to Hidden US. This is episode 25, the Montauk Project. Time travel and mind experiment legends. On the far end of Long Island, where the ocean crashes violently against steep cliffs and the wind howls through abandoned military buildings, sits a place wrapped in more speculation, rumor, an urban legend than almost any other site in America. Camp Hero. This once active Air Force station is said to be the center of the so-called Montauk Project. For decades, this remote installation, surrounded by dense forest, rusting radar towers, and concrete bunkers sealed behind welded steel has fueled one of the most persistent and bizarre legends in American lore. According to the stories, Montauk was not just a Cold War outpost. It was the rumored location of secret psychological research, experiments with electromagnetic fields, and strange accounts involving memory manipulation, human testing, and even alleged attempts to bend the boundaries of perception and time. Now, none of these claims have ever been proven, yet their persistence reveals something deeper. A fear that beneath America's quieter corners, places designed for defense may have also become breeding grounds for mystery. The Montauk legends began in the 1980s, long after the base was abandoned, whispered by men who claimed to be former subjects or survivors of classified experiments. They spoke of rooms deep underground, of chairs wired to powerful transmitters, of individuals trained to expand their consciousness. Historians and officials dismiss these accounts as imaginative stories born from Cold War paranoia. But the intensity of the claims keeps the legend alive, because Camp Hero's eerie silence leaves just enough empty space for speculation to grow. To understand why Montauk became the center of such extraordinary tales, we have to look at the environment in which these stories took root. Throughout the Cold War, the United States actively explored psychological operations, electromagnetic research, and intelligence-driven experiments aimed at understanding human cognition. Documented programs like MKUltra, which attempted to study mind influence, were classified for decades before coming to light. Declassified files prove that some of these programs did cross ethical boundaries. So, when word spread that Camp Hero housed sophisticated radar capable of blasting immense electromagnetic fields across the region, imaginations started connecting the dots. The giant and FPS 35 radar tower, still standing today like a mechanical monolith, became the symbol of these rumors. Its immense power output, once used for coastal air defense, sparked speculation that the equipment could have been repurposed for experiments involving the mind, perception, or even the manipulation of energy fields. Again, nothing of this sort has been proven, but the radar's imposing presence, rusting yet unmistakably dominant, gives visitors an uneasy sense that something significant once happened here. And when a site looks like a leftover set from a Cold War thriller, the human mind tends to fill in the gaps. The most well-known source behind the Montauk legends came from individuals who told elaborate stories of being part of secret programs. They described allegedly being trained for heightened intuition, remote viewing, or extreme sensory deprivation. Some even claimed to recall fragmented memories of underground laboratories, of experiments blending psychology with electromagnetic machinery, and of scientists pushing boundaries in ways the public would never know. Researchers, journalists, and skeptics have repeatedly pointed out that there is no evidence to verify any of these personal accounts. Yet the sheer consistency of certain details in these chairs, machinery, psychological stress tests made Montauk a focal point of American folklore. It wasn't that people believed every detail. It was that the backdrop of Camp Hero made the impossible feel strangely plausible. Abandoned rooms, sealed tunnels, and miles of fenced-off land created the perfect canvas for both fear and imagination. Legends thrive where answers are missing, and Montauk offered silence instead of explanations. The most extreme Montauk legends involve talk of attempts to create portals, distort time, perception, or influence consciousness through massive energy bursts. Supporters claimed powerful electromagnetic fields could trigger unusual mental effects, while skeptics noted these ideas had no scientific basis. Yet the Cold War produced many real, unconventional research programs, from sensory deprivation studies to classified signal experiments. So when storytellers mixed fact with speculation, the result became a narrative too intriguing to ignore. In truth, Montauk's mystery lies not in what can be proven, but in how it blends real Cold War secrecy with decades of local myths. Every rusted door, every sealed bunker, and every piece of forgotten infrastructure invites questions that no official report fully answers. When the base officially shut down, its remnants were left to decay. Locals reported strange sounds at night, mechanical hums from the old radar tower, animals reacting nervously near certain bunkers, or lights flickering inside structures long believed to be disconnected from power. Park officials attribute these sensations to wildlife, aging machinery, and the environment. Yet to those who already believed the Montauk stories, these details became further proof that something unusual lingered beneath the surface. And once the legends took hold, they spread far beyond Long Island. Books, documentaries, and online discussions transformed Montauk into a symbol of hidden experiments. Even fictional works, inspired loosely by the idea of a remote research site, borrowed elements from the legend, embedding Montauk deeper into American cultural imagination. Today, Camp Hero is part military ruin, part state park, part mythic relic. Visitors walk along overgrown paths, stare at massive bunkers sealed with concrete, and stand beneath the towering radar dish that once scanned the sky for Cold War threats. Some come for the history, others come for the thrill of a mystery that refuses to fade. The legends persist not because they are verified, but because Montauk represents something powerful. The intersection of secrecy, fear, science, and imagination. As long as the base remains locked behind fences, and as long as its underground areas remain inaccessible, stories will continue to grow. Because deep in the human mind is a simple truth: when a place looks like it could hide secrets, people will fill that emptiness with possibilities, whether those possibilities lean toward time, experiments, psychological research, or Cold War anomalies, says more about our curiosity than about the site itself. In the end, the Montauk Project isn't just a story about alleged experiments. It is a reflection of how legends form around places where official silence leaves room for interpretation. The truth may be far more ordinary or far more complicated than an MEA. But one thing is clear: Montauk has become a permanent chapter in America's modern folklore, a reminder that the line between fact and legend is often drawn not by evidence, but by imagination. And as long as the radar tower stands, rusted yet defiant against the wind, the legend of Montauk will continue to echo across the cliffs of Long Island. Thanks for watching Hidden US. If you found this story as fascinating as we do, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next dive into America's most mysterious places. See you next time.